Makerspace Winter Holidays live stream. My name is DJ Harrigan. I am a content creator and a user of 3D printers for many years now, and I'm really excited to invite you guys into our live stream. My co-host today is going to be the AnkerMake M5. Not very talkative, but we'll see if we can get the AnkerMake up and running. We are here in beautiful West Hills, California at Social Media Makerspace. So if you are a local Angelino or just visiting from out of town, come check us out because we are a creative space for people to get together and build robots, make cosplay, and just hang out. So if you're in the area, that's West Hills out here in the valley, come and check us out. So today we're going to be talking about some holiday gifts that you can 3D print because you know, it's last minute, and of course, you know, it is post-Christmas, but the best time to start preparing for next Christmas is right after Christmas, so you won't be late next year. And the way you're going to get through that is by having your own 3D printer. Really excited to see a bunch of people in chat already. We're going to be doing, I will stay off the bat, we aren't doing any giveaways, but we do have a pretty big discount for you guys because not only is the current M5 3D printer half off, 50% off, down to $349.99, but for those of you who are watching, you're going to get an additional $50 off an order of $250 or more, so that's going to qualify it for any of the 3D printers. So we're going to have the code for you there in chat. That is AnkerMake, all caps, 2024. So I want to make sure we reward you guys right off the bat. Is the M5C being discontinued? No.
It's sold out.
Yeah, it's just sold out for now. Yeah. All right, so let's talk about some of the goodies we've got here today. If we can pull up my screen here, maybe not have the the YouTube video itself. Get that recursive loop. All right, so if you lack the time or talent to model your own 3D printable goods, you're in luck because AnkerMake has their own repository of 3D models aggregator, and that is makeitreal.ankermake.com. So I'm already here, and I've already pulled up our model that is currently hanging out right here on the bed of the M5C. Now this is modeled by 3Woo, and we're going to be seeing a lot of 3Woo's files today because they have made a lot of files for AnkerMake, and this is just an extraordinary print. There's a lot of detail, and especially these little tiny spires. This is a very hard thing to 3D print. If you've never 3D printed anything before, let me tilt this up. It's a bit hard to see on camera. Let's see how close we can get. But the tops of these spires, which are barely wider than, let me get that more centered, yeah, barely wider than the nozzle width, came out beautifully. And this is one of the models that we printed in our most recent video on the Social Medium YouTube channel, making some holiday gifts for people. So if you are a fan of medieval, well, I actually don't know the era of this castle, but it's certainly a Western style castle, certainly a European style castle. Just an extraordinary model, and the M5 handled it beautifully. So you can get some really intricate things there, but more importantly, it's free. You know, you don't have to pay for this, so you can just go over to Make It Real, and I literally just typed in castle. Granted, you did have to search for it, but this is going to be one of those prints. So I'm actually just going to check it out here because I'm curious to know how intricate this is. So I'm going to import that directly, and that's really nice. So just open right in Slicer straight from the website. No downloading and dragging, just literally open in Slicer, import into AnkerMake Slicer, which you would have to have pre-installed anyway. So let's get that AnkerMake Studio opening up. Drink some more Earl Grey tea. Alrighty. Accept the terms. Always got to accept the terms and conditions and never read them. So we're going to be printing a few things. Well, we're only going to be printing one thing today because printing still takes a while. But we're going to be talking about a few different 3D prints. And, okay, it's still loading. It was like, where's our model? Oh my God. That is absolutely massive with more than 1 million triangles. Might have had a little bit of translation error there, but let's check it out. Doesn't matter because we're going to zoom out, take a look at that, and let's scale that down. Let's see what 50%. That's a lot better. Zoom in here. Yeah, I would like that. So let me just check that out real good. Let's do precision because this is going to be a very intricate print. Like you can still see these spires. Like I would never model something like this to be printed on an FDM 3D printer because I wouldn't think they would be possible. It's just a really challenging thing to do. So let's slice that and see how it handles it. I'll check over here in chat again. Always lubricate your Z threads and nuts. I never lubricate my 3D printer. I should treat it better. Treat your AnkerMake better than I treat mine. Give it the lube it desires that it needs to live. So 10 hours, 177 grams, that's not too bad. Nope. Quick commands. Woo. I definitely know how to use a computer, folks. Yeah. Oh yeah, so if you wanted to watch this come alive, the M5 does have a built-in camera, so you can get some time lapses for all of your 3D prints and also just monitor them remotely. I mean, I'm never in the same room as my 3D printer, so having that camera is invaluable for checking, especially just those first few layers. Those first few layers are so important. You know, bed adhesion and making sure that, you know, your filament wasn't tangled or it's the right color. That way you don't have to run to, you know, wherever you keep your 3D printer, hopefully in a warm, temperature-controlled environment and not relegated to the garage like my 3D printer. But it's all good because you can always keep an eye on it with that camera and, you know, get a time lapse of your build. So, you know, if you're a content creator too, that's a really handy feature. You don't have to do anything special. Just, you know, check that setting and then you'll have a time lapse of your build, which is really helpful for that sweet, sweet B-roll. Let's go back to chat here in a second. When will we get TPU presets in the slicer? Well, let's see. I can't offer that off the bat. Yeah, we don't have a solid date for you, but TPU is important. You need your soft models, your flexible filament.
Something to remember is that you can also use other slicers and still send it to the AnkerMake. So if you want to use unofficial TPU settings, you can use something like Prusa Slicer. You can bring in settings from you can bring in settings that other people have made and post online. And you can even adjust all the settings here. So even if there isn't a fixed preset, I have actually printed TPU on my AnkerMake.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if you want to tell people that.
Yeah, my producer here is saying we can get those slicer settings from other slicers. We can't guarantee the quality of them because they're not official AnkerMake presets, but they do work, and he has successfully printed TPU on his AnkerMake M5, and did you do it on the M5C too? Yeah, so no issues there getting your flexible filament. But we're not actually going to be printing the castle today because I'm not going to sit here for 11 hours, and I don't think you want to be here for 11 hours either. So I'm going to go ahead and close that out. Yeah, well, okay, we'll discard that. Yeah, and if you want to see more of how it was actually printed, you can see that on our YouTube video. That's the Social Medium channel, and you find that linked in the description. Yeah.
It's on the AnkerMake channel.
Oh, it is on the AnkerMake channel.
Made with made by Social Medium and with Social Medium on the AnkerMake channel. The link is in the chat.
Okay.
And it's a great video that shows off our Makerspace and also some of the things that the 3D printers can do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. If you missed that, it's linked. It's linked.
Sorry, people should be able to hear me now. I put on a microphone.
Oh, okay. You are okay. I don't know. Well, I have to. I want to make sure
Awesome.
they hear your voice, Ben. Yeah. So we've got that. Oh, there we go. To the rescue. But that is but one possible gift you can print today. We're going to be taking a look at one that requires a little bit of assembly but isn't too complicated. Let me find this because 3Woo, our 3D modeling hero, has also made a calendar. So I'm going to go over here back to the Make It Real site and just type in calendar. Let's find 3Woo's calendar. So if you want a fun desk widget, this is multiple files, but not too complicated of a print. Everything printed without supports. I don't know about you guys, but I always design without 3D printed supports. I hate generating waste in my models. And since you can print anything, just split your model up. Make sure you can model it without 3D printed supports. But then again, that's not taking full advantage of a 3D printer, you know? You can print almost anything you can imagine. But we've already got it assembled. Well, it's not assembled. We've already got it printed here. So I'm going to go ahead and slide my computer out of the way, and we'll take a look at this model, IRL. So we've got a few main pieces. We've got the calendar base, the calendar cap. We've got the individual rotary wheels with the labels for the month and date. And what's really nice, and I've actually never seen this before, is he 3D printed, or they, I have no idea who 3Woo is, 3D printed bushings, which is very clever because when you've got two large FDM surfaces, they don't really move nicely against each other. So reducing that area of contact is going to be huge. And not buying, I mean, that's the joy of a 3D printer. You can print all the parts you need with your machine. Like, I mean, are these going to last in an industrial, environment for years on end? No. But for your calendar that you want to give to your aunt or little cousin or whatever, yeah, it'll be fine. It'll totally last. So I'm going to go ahead and assemble this, drop one washer on, and then I'm going to make sure I do this right with the numbers. So I'm going to put one number at the bottom. Yeah, it's pretty complicated. If you've passed preschool, I think you'll. Oh, I missed a bushing. I know. I'm just so eager for the calendar. But if you've passed preschool, you can assemble this calendar and give it to someone that you presumably care about. So let's go ahead and put the last one. last bushing and the date, and then everything just pops in place. You might want to glue that in place, but if not, I think it looks pretty cool. You can't quite see the text, but we've got our week, month, and date. It'd be pretty cool to modify this and put little motors, put servos in all of this. I don't know, what would you do to customize your own calendar? But my go-to solution, or penchant, is to motorize everything. So I think that'd be pretty cool. It gives me some ideas. And if you're interested in learning more about electronics, you can come on by, because I happen to host the Electronics Club here at Social Medium. That's going to be every Thursday, as long as I'm not sick. I don't know if you can hear my voice, but it's I'm a little bit quieter than I usually am, because I'm trying not to lose my voice. But yeah, if you wanted to have a project and learn how to use basic electronic components to make something come to life, that's something we can do together here at Social Medium. But just a reminder, if anyone's still or just joining us now for the holiday live stream, you guys get that $50 off, $250 or more on the AnkerMake website using AnkerMake, all caps 2024. So go ahead and check that out. The AnkerMake is already on sale. It's already 50% off, but you can knock an extra $50, so you can get your own AnkerMake M5 for $299.99. Oh, I didn't even mention the qualifier. That code is only good from now until midnight Pacific time. So you've got less than 6 hours to use that code. So for those of you who've you're not tuning, what year is it? I'm sorry, we don't have sure there are more modern words for it, but yeah. For those of you who opened up your phone and clicked over to the AnkerMake live stream, you can use that code from now until midnight, and that's only until midnight, only today, for that extra $50 off. Yeah, so much fun. This 3D printer would be great for schools. Yeah, it's just from my own personal opinion, this is a really well-built machine, and I honestly just like the industrial design. You can't say that for a lot of 3D printers, which are still kind of raw and exposed, but there aren't a lot of exposed nooks and crannies. I mean, all 3D printers have risk for injury and things like that, but everything is as enclosed as it reasonably can be. Plus, it's just reliable. So, and right.
I'll say also, as this has been the producer and also director of the Makerspace. In my experience, both with the Makerspace and with schools, something I like about the AnkerMake is that it has the ability to send wirelessly from the computers, but some other tools we have that have wireless or cloud-based software only allow you to do wirelessly. So the fact that you can do it wirelessly or through the USB port makes it a lot more versatile in a public environment like a school or a Makerspace, where some of our other tools are less friendly to doing that. Yeah,
you don't need to plug in a SD card or a USB cable or flash drive to make it work. Now, that's really helpful. That's how most things should be, and we haven't had any troubles with that. Gamer Llama says, I'm using your printer right now, and it's amazing. It's speedy, and you get your projects done in a flash. Would love to know what you're printing with the AnkerMake printers, Gamer Llama, so let us know in chat.
And if people have things they want to show off what they printed, tag Social Medium and tag AnkerMake. I can't speak for AnkerMake, but anybody who tags Social Medium will repost your stuff. We love showing off the work people make. So tag us on Instagram and we'll show it off.
Can you try the 3D printers at our Makerspace, George? Yes, you can. We can help you 3D print things. Obviously, you can't just walk in off the street and do it unattended, but come visit us, come say hello. You can find out our open hours. Things are in a little bit of flux, but you can find out our open hours on our website, linked in the description. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, come check us out. You can come 3D print something on the AnkerMake if you want to try it out before you buy it. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, someone says, I have a competitor, competing 3D printer, but I always recommend AnkerMake to anyone that wants to open a box and just print. Yeah, their other printers just gathered dust. Oh, they're printing the dust calendar right now. That's awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I will say, as the person who both assembled this printer and many other printers in my life, I was really impressed with how quickly I was able to take this out. I think it was like 10 minutes between picking up the box and having it start my first print. It was like, I think 8 screws total, maybe less. And 2, I like that they use USB-C to connect everything instead of ribbon cable. A lot of 3D printers use ribbon cable, and it's like these tiny little
fragile connectors. Yeah.
So it's really user-friendly. Just use USB-C, plug everything together, and have it ready to go.
Yeah. Quickcast mentions, I don't have time to mess around tinkering. I agree. I don't want my 3D printer to be the project. That's totally fine, like if you want to like build your own custom 3D printer from scratch, but I want to have 3D prints. I want it, I want to press a button and I want to receive 3D printed parts, and having a reliable machine like the AnkerMake M5 is what makes that happen, because you want to bring your design or the designs you find or the designs you make to life. I don't want to spend hours. I won't name names, but I have had printers that I've had to disassemble repeatedly that took, the process took 4-5 hours because it was such a nightmare. And it was a very expensive machine, and I was miserable. And I'm like, this isn't worth it. This is absolutely not worth it. And your time is so much more valuable. And you don't have to invest a lot right now to get the AnkerMake. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, do you know how long it took you to set up your 3D printer, Ben?
Like I said, literally 10 minutes, maybe less.
Yeah.
And it's not just me, because I thought maybe it's because I've assembled so many that I'm used to it, and I just kind of was able to intuit it. But we've actually had a couple of our members buy this printer because they use it in the space. They liked it so much they wanted to get one for their home. And both of them also were able to assemble their printers really quickly. We had one person buy the M5 and somebody else bought 2 M5Cs. They were able to assemble it, first time ever assembling a 3D printer very quickly.
Yeah, that's awesome. Let's see. Gamer Lumber did respond. I'm printing a phone case and I'm printing a dragon that's like a foot and a rocktopus. Awesome. If you're willing to share that, you should totally put that up on the Make It Real site. But the phone case, I mean, it sounds straightforward, but like that's the fun thing is you can print and customize whatever you want, and you're not restricted to what you can find in your wireless carrier store or big box online retailer. You can just make it at home, and you can make them as gifts for other people. I mean, that's the whole point. It's so easy to take pennies worth of plastic, and turn that into something personal and meaningful for someone else. Yeah, I have to recommend the M5C to literally I've recommended the M5C to literal grandmas who printed cookie cutters all holiday long. That's funny. We have a cookie cutter here. This is one of our social media little mascots. Oh yeah. So we are going to be, well, this isn't cookie dough, but we're going to be testing out our own 3D printed cookie cutters. That's funny. Thank you, Quickcast.
That should be live on the Make It Real website now. So if anybody wants to make a little cookie based off our logo, we call them the Buddies, and they're like a little mascot. If anybody wants to make their own cookies, they can download that file from AnkerMake. Maybe you want to show them on the Make It Real website.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and pull that up. Yeah, so this is, I literally just typed in, so let's pretend I didn't have it pulled up. But if you just type in social medium, yeah, it's literally the very, very first link, and you can get that.
Maybe we could try printing one, and we'll see.
Yeah, well, do you want to? Well, we're gonna start printing that later. It's only it's almost 6:30, but we'll give this guy a print later and a test later. There were still a few more comments in chat I wanted to respond to. ATH edits. I'm assuming you want to know how long the castle took to print.
We did about 10 hours in fast mode.
Okay, 10 hours in fast mode.
And I think since I got my
That's for this
AnkerMakes, I've maybe printed 2 things not in fast mode because the layer lines on fast mode have been comparable to the higher quality mode on most of my other 3D printers.
Yeah.
And so
we've got that recursive loop of
really
my
small.
screen on.
Unless I'm doing something really small, I almost always do fast mode, and it turns out great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can we swap off my screen? Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, QuickCast says I've recommended M5C. Okay, no, I already got that. Gamer Llama, and they just opened the printer yesterday, and you've had no problem. That's great. I hope you continue to have no problems with it. ATH edits AnkerMake M5C versus AnkerMake M5. Well, the biggest thing for most people is probably going to be build area. The M5 has a larger build area. But the footprint is pretty similar, actually. The M5C.
It's like a 5mm difference.
Yeah, and just in terms of actual space too.
Yeah.
Plus right now the M5 is so cheap. So we've got the M5 or affordable. It's at $349, and remember, guys, if you use that code, it's just for you who are in chat, basically, because it's going to expire at midnight. $50 off orders of $250 or more. So you don't have to buy a 3D printer. It's that order value. So if you just want to buy a ton of filament, you're basically getting spools of filament for free included. Yeah. So let's.
We have the AnkerMake PLA Plus at the Makerspace, and we have a few different colors. And it prints really nice. I mean, you can see all the prints that we showed so far on the stream. They all come out really great with the PLA Plus. So.
Yeah, but no M5Cs currently available. So just check out the M5. Let's see. What's the coolest project you have made with the AnkerMake? Ben, you've done a lot more printing lately. What was that thing with your wife? The thing you made for your wife? Oh, yeah, the wand.
Yeah, so we did a bunch of wands. So I can give you the wand. This is a file that we made ourselves. It's not on the website. It's not on Make It Real yet because it still needs a little work. But it does show how you can paint 3D prints and make them look pretty cool.
Right. You added the I want to call it veins afterwards.
Yeah, like the.
Yeah. So you can see this is the wand that Ben designed for a play production, and this didn't have supports, right? This didn't have supports?
No, we printed that without supports. It's 2 parts. I can grab a sample.
Yeah, so this isn't public. Yeah, I don't think it's public because
the button should work if you want to show.
Oh yeah, oh. Yeah, so it lights up so you can, this is for the play. I guess I'm blinding the camera here in a bit. But really cool because you can get this cool split design. He's got electronics built into the handle of the wand. There's some gems and things like that he glued on after the fact. But this could all be modeled into the file. So you can make some pretty fun things. Let's see. I want to keep making sure I'm acknowledging everyone in chat. Aww. Udson Hockey says, yo, Udson. ATH edits today, I just tightened it and it works perfect now. Does it normally loosen after a bit? It shouldn't normally. I mean, anything, it depends on your environment. If you happen to be in a particularly vibratory environment, it's possible some things might come loose, but you can always just check and just tighten your screws, but normally it really shouldn't. QuickCast says, we've made unavailable truck parts to candy molds. That's cool. I mean, that's the biggest thing, is making things that people don't even sell. Like if you have a 3D scanner too, you can scan some things and turn those back into parts. It takes a little bit more skill, and candy molds. Yeah, ATH Edit says, I got the M5C, so I attached a Ring camera. Yeah, but I mean, that's why, you know, you gotta get now's a good time to also get the M5 with that built-in camera. They said we need a flexible benchy. Absolutely. Let's see, George, that's so cool. ATH Edits, I had to tension my printer today. Do you have to do that after normally? Or?
I have never tensioned, like you, I probably should tension and lubricate and all that.
Right.
We will do that eventually. So far, we've put at least 100 hours, maybe more on these, probably a couple hundred hours, because we use it in a makerspace, so we're probably using it more than the average person at home because we have so many different people using it. I haven't done any maintenance on it yet. I am starting to feel like a little bit of resistance on some of the bearings, so I should lubricate it soon and tension it, but I took it out of the box, hit go, and I haven't touched any of the settings since.
I mean, any machine's going to have periodic maintenance, excuse me, but that is also not a frequent thing. I'll put it. It is normal. It is not frequent. Quick cast. My fast mode prints turn out better than most precision prints on other machines. To Ben's testament, fast is more. It's more than good enough. Utsun Hockey, I've started my own YouTube channel making things on my M5 that I grabbed on Black Friday. Feel free to drop that link in chat. We'd love to check it out, Utsun Hockey. We'd love to see the things that you've been printing with your M5. Yes, the M5 does have a touch screen. You can see it right here, and camera. Yeah, let's see. And no all metal hot end. I use almost all Anker filament. Just wish we could have more sustainable spools. That's a lot of plastic. Yeah, I can't make any comments about the spools, but I agree.
I will say a nice thing about being in a makerspace. We have over here, and it might give people some ideas. We have over here our corner of supplies that come with the membership, so any member could come in and use this stuff. And so we actually keep all our spools down there, the empty spools, and we have members who come in and turn them into all sorts of cool stuff. So we've had kids that turn them into doll houses. We have adults that turn them into storage boxes. There's a lot of really cool files online for turning them into like storage boxes with drawers that pop out and things like that. So before you throw your spools away, try to think about how you could reuse them. That's something we love doing at the Makerspace, is upcycling anything from spools to cardboard and turning it into cool new things.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny, you know, when you think about reducing waste, it's, you know, the phrase is reduce, reuse, recycle, and reusing is this, you know, recycle is always, it's the last part of that phrase. Reuse, so if you can reuse your spools, because it's still, you know, a solid, well-made, injection molded thing.
I think my favorite thing that we've done with the spool, we took it down recently, is we had a member make a like Dr. Doom style Destructo button. So it's just like a big red button, and he put like half of a snow globe over it and put like a big red button, and it just made the whole thing look like a do not press the place will explode kind of button. Weathered it to look all used and beat up and spacey, and that used to just turn on a light bulb somewhere in the makerspace.
That's perfect.
It was a lot of fun.
I love that. Ben also, he brought over, now I want to showcase his design because this is really cool. I mean, this is something that I don't even do often is 3D printed threads, you know. So this is a split design, so you can print it. Actually, no, this one was printed vertically. You printed these vertically.
And I didn't even need supports on the one in your left hand.
Yeah.
I only use supports on the one on the right hand.
Yeah, so this is really cool. So it's a 2-part design. You know, he's got alignment pegs here, and then I can go ahead and thread on the tip of the wand, which is really cool. And then we've got the other side to seal that up. So 3D printed threads, functional, and in this orientation, strong. So this is...
Yeah, I do recommend 3D printing threads vertically instead of horizontally. They come out a lot cleaner.
Yeah. But it is possible, and that's, you know, this would be, obviously, you know, there's a lot of ways to do this, but if you don't have a full shop and you just have a 3D printer, you can build some pretty complicated assemblies. Let's see, I want to keep going through. Gamer Llama, everybody said that I would regret opening the M5, and I did it anyway, and they just straight up lied to me. It's amazing. Well, I'm glad that you didn't listen to those people and you're enjoying your M5. Let's see. HH Edits, I remember you guys had a... Okay. Yeah. Let's see. What is this live stream about? This live stream is showcasing...
We got a little sidetracked.
We got a little sidetracked. We are making some holiday gifts and showing off files you can find on the Make It Real site. We've got this 3D printed calendar here by 3Woo. We have this lovely, I just broke one of the spires. I knew it was going to happen. This lovely castle by 3Woo. And right now we've got our custom cookie cutter made by us here at Social Medium. And if you are late to the live stream, you're not too late for a discount because until midnight Pacific, you're going to have access to $50 off an order of $250 or more on the AnkerMake website. You don't have to buy a 3D printer, but if you just want to buy a bunch of filament, you can knock an extra $50 off. But right now, the AnkerMake M5 is down to $349.99. So with that extra discount code, which is in chat, but I'll say it again, it's AnkerMake, all caps, 2024. That will give you $50 off your order. So you can pick up an AnkerMake M5 for $299.99. So that is a pretty good deal. And that $50 off is only going to last until midnight, guys. So now is the time. Let's see. Hudson Hockey, have not had a lot of time to make much yet, but trying to grow. Well, I look forward to you keeping trying. Let's see. Quick cast, if I could melt down the spools, I could probably get another whole roll of filament out of it. Definitely a different chemistry. I'm not sure they're thermoset. Is that what's the type of polymer that can be remelted?
Yeah, thermoplastic.
Thermoplastic. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's thermoplastic.
We have about 20 minutes left, so maybe now, if you want, we can show people on the Make It Real website how to find our model and how to slice it and start a print on the M5, and then while the print's going, we can try to make some cookies.
Sure. All right, so let's go ahead and head over to the Make It Real site. Excuse me, I need to drink some tea first. All right, so let's go back and look up Social Medium.
I will say, I'm not sure about the metal hot end. We'll ask our partners at AnkerMake about that. I will say, back to the conversation about public spaces and schools, one of the things I love about the AnkerMake M5 and M5C is they have a silicone cap or a silicone blocker that goes around the around the nozzle, and
I would just call it an insulator, maybe.
yeah, it's like an insulator. The point of it is that you're much less likely to accidentally burn yourself when you're messing around there. I've definitely burnt my fingers on 3D printers a couple of times. And so I like that the fans are one enclosed, because I've also had spaghetti get in fans and then wreck the fan on my 3D printer. And then I like the silicone insulator that prevents kids and adults like me from burning their hands.
Everyone from burning their very burnable fingers.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've already looked up and found our social media buddy cookie cutter. So once again, super easy. You don't have to do anything extra. Just open in slicer if you've already got the AnkerMake Studio Slicer downloaded and installed. That's very, very convenient. But we're gonna go ahead and make another buddy. We need a buddy. How can you have a buddy if you don't have two buddies? You always, it's the buddy system, so we need two. So, okay, I've already got it on the build. This is designed to be a very fast print, but we're gonna make it even faster by choosing that fast mode.
And then if you go into expert settings, you could even change more of the settings. So like something I like to do when I have a simple print like this is go to other,
okay,
and then switch the brim type instead of auto to none.
Yeah, we don't need that brim.
I find that with the Anker, especially with a simple print like this, you don't actually need a brim. It'll print just fine with that one.
Cool.
And then you just keep cancel. Yeah, and then if you just scroll to the bottom and hit slice now. And
no, I want to make sure we kept that other setting though. Yep, no brim. All right, so let's slice it. See what we get. Yeah, no time at all. And all right, 14-minute print. We can absolutely do that in time to make cookies for tonight. All right, so print social media M5, not the M5C, not that one. The bonus M5, or social medium M5, that's the one we want. Send that over to the machine. All right, 13 minutes and 47 seconds. Let's see if we can make these cookies in time. All right, let's go back over to chat while that starts to heat up. We're gonna get the bed and nozzle heated up. Oh wow, there's a lot of people in chat. I've been embedding magnets. That's a fun one. Ben, you've done some.
Yeah, I've embedded magnets in a few things. I even one time embedded a reed switch.
Oh, okay.
I've done, embedding is really cool. It's a function that's built into most 3D printers, most slicers. It's also in the AnkerMake slicer, is you can just tell it that you're going to be switching colors, and it will write the G code to pause your print at the place where you say you're switching colors. So wherever you want to put in the magnet, you just say you're switching colors. It will pause the print. You put in your magnet, and then you just tell it that you switch the color, and it will just continue printing right over the magnet. Some printers you have to be careful, because if the nozzle is magnetic, it will suck your magnet right up. And then definitely do damage to your printer. With the AnkerMake, luckily there's no magnetic parts near the nozzle, so it works really well for that purpose. But if you swap out your nozzle for some reason, like if you get different nozzles from third parties, make sure that your nozzle's not magnetic before you try doing that.
That would be unfortunate. So yeah. All right, let's see. What's the difference between silk and normal filament?
I think
appearance mostly, and to be honest, I normal filament prints more reliably. Silk filament is more attractive, but the additives for silk PLA, it tends to be more brittle. In my experience, have you experienced that?
Yeah, I'll say also it depends on the company. I've had a lot of different filaments from different companies.
Right.
With the AnkerMake PLAs, I have just kind of we have at the Makerspace a random smattering of everything from silk to not silk. We have regular black. We have black with like the little sparkly bits. I think the silk hides the layer lines a little better because of the shininess kind of reflects around the layer lines and hides them better. But yeah, normally I'm a very simple guy. I like to just use as simple of filaments as possible. I do like the plus though. The plus versus not plus makes a difference in how fast you could print. So I will say if you have the choice between like regular PLA and PLA plus for AnkerMake and pretty much any brand, I do think that the slight difference in price is worth the speed and accuracy and durability you get with the plus prints.
Cool. All right. I just want to make sure we're continuing to answer all these comments. Let's see. M5 early Kickstarter backer here, first 3D printer and a huge fan, Fuji Lives. Have you considered partnering with US synthetic / diamond tipped heads? I have a couple and they make a dramatic difference. I don't know, but that sounds amazing. It also sounds very expensive. So you might be a power user, but if it sounds like you made the swap on your own and had no trouble, but that is pretty cool to hear. Let's see.
I will say it's not like the AnkerMakes have standard nozzles. I know some printers, the nozzles are not standard screw thread, so you can't swap them out with just any. I don't know if AnkerMake encourages swapping, but they are compatible with most.
Like I said, I don't recommend it for if you're an absolute beginner, but if you're more experienced with 3D printing, you know what you're doing. And there are a lot of options for nozzle types for more intense or particularly abrasive filaments. That's the real issue. I honestly just stick with PLA and PETG like 99% of the time. But let's see. All right, we are beginning the printing process. Reading comments, yes we are. Is there Fuji Lives, or Fuji Lives, is there a risk of PLA contaminating food from the standpoint of cookie cutters? I read that it was taboo to touch the stuff to any food. You don't want prolonged contact, and for something like this, like obviously, I've got cookie dough. This is just foam modeling clay. We're not actually making cookies here, guys. You can put plastic wrap, so cling wrap, in between your print and use that as a barrier because they wouldn't be reusable, sadly. The layer lines of an FDM 3D print are the perfect breeding ground for some filament. The reality is, technically, any nozzle, might potentially have lead as a component. So, in theory, there's trace amounts, but that's a given with a lot of equipment. But I don't recommend personally using raw FDM 3D filament to make cookie cutters, but you can use a barrier, like I said, like saran wrap or something like that. Okay. Once again, guys, because we've only got 10 minutes left, I'm going to make sure that people in the live stream get the reward for joining us, which is a $50 discount off orders of 250 or more. So that code is AnkerMake, all caps, 2024. And you can find that link in the chat. But that's going to give you $50 off 250 or more. And right now, the M5 is only $349.99. So that brings it down to $299.99, which is a great deal for the M5. Let's see. Yeah, so speaking of printing with a brim, what's the difference really? The issue is with really thin prints that don't have a lot of contact with the build plate, it's not going to adhere to the build plate and it's going to lift off. And especially with tall prints that are relatively tall relative to the contact patch with the build plate, you really want to make sure that you have a lot of surface area, and that brim is going to add that surface area so that you get a strong first layer.
And then you could peel the brim off after. So
Yeah,
it
yeah,
adds surface area, but then you can remove it from the final product.
Right, they're designed to be peeled away. I also recommend getting like a deburring tool for getting those last little edges off, and just in general, if you've got a 3D printer, getting a deburring tool.
Oh, you want to show up actually
Let's say.
on the other side of the 3D printer? One of the things I love about the AnkerMakes is that they come with a toolbox.
Oh.
So all of those tools,
Yeah.
all those tools
I'm trying to do it backwards.
with the AnkerMake,
Yeah.
including an extra nozzle, tubing, all the wrenches you need. All of that is just in the box. It's one of the things that makes assembly so easy.
Right.
Is that you're not dealing with those like tiny throwaway tools. It's all like a real toolbox that you then have to help maintain forever.
Let's see. Get through some of these more of these comments. Yeah, just don't cook it. Yeah. I'll be making one of the. Yeah, that's a Nucky. I'll be making one of those cookie cutters. If they only take 14 minutes, I think they do. I mean, worst case, 15 minutes. Yeah, please tag us if you happen to make some social media cookie cutters.
Yeah,
that would be
so
awesome.
cute. Especially if you make actual social media cookies.
ImagineX says, anything I can get for free, just bought a couple mounted to go. Can't give you anything for free, but I can give you the discount code. That's all caps, AnkerMake 2024, and that's going to get you $50 off an order at AnkerMake.com. So you don't have to buy a 3D printer. Maybe you just want to buy some accessories or a bunch of filament. But as long as you're spending $250 or more, just knock off $50, and that's a pretty good deal. Let's see. I wish I could answer. I can't answer really technical questions on this right now, guys. Let's keep going.
Somebody said they're printing their first print right now. What are you printing?
Yeah.
Geargy Gamer?
Okay. That's awesome. Yeah, we'd love to know what you're printing, guys. Yeah. Let's see. ATHS, my favorite print so far was a collapsible katana. I haven't done it. I've seen those for so long now. Ben, have you ever printed one of the collapsible swords?
Yes, we did. Actually, 3Woo, who made the castle file and the calendar, has a collapsible katana file and a collapsible katana and baton. And they're fun. I will say those ones are, the ones that 3Woo made are pretty large. So we ended up giving that to some people in our cosplay club because it was really good for like an anime style oversized weapon. There are other files out there with more like realistic size katanas, but I kind of like almost felt like Transformers, like the swords that like Optimus Prime would have with the oversized chunky handles.
Let's see. Yeah, guys, we are reading all the comments. I can't answer specific stuff about products or technical questions. There's not enough time, and I'm not the domain expert on that, but AnkerMake is aware. So let's see. GRGI Gamer, they printed a little lizard from the app. Awesome. Let's see. Testing out prints from the app. So far, so good. Didn't know about this stream until I installed the studio. I'm going to use the promo code for some filament. Awesome. Yeah, that's going to get you at least a couple spools for free. So I'm glad you're going to take advantage of that.
I will.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I will say also one thing we didn't show yet, but somebody mentioned. I think Geargy Gamer, mentioned the app. So in addition to the computer program for the slicer, I would do most of my prints for the AnkerMake from the mobile app. So it's really cool that sometimes I'll be out somewhere and I'll be like,
Right.
like just this holiday season, just for the holidays, I realized I forgot to get somebody a gift. I looked through the app really quick, and even though I wasn't here, I was able to start a print remotely from my phone, have it go to the 3D printers, and then by the time I got here a couple hours later, it was done and waiting for me to wrap up and give to a friend. So the app is a really cool way to do some 3D printing as well.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, that's crazy, the amount of convenience, just to go straight from an app or, straight from the website, straight to your 3D printer. Let's see. Make sure we're reading. Fuji Lives. I was able to print a 0.25 thin, one layer vase mode giant print that took up the whole bed. The accuracy is very good with more recent motor updates. Just want to say keep up the good work. Thank you, Fuji Lives. Yeah, no comment on upcoming releases. Let's see. Stream is lagging. Hard to say.
It's coming clear here, and we have George said it was coming through well also.
Okay.
So stop block, I would check, maybe refresh the browser, and see if that helps you. Let me know if it's still having problems on your end.
All right. Yeah. It's working. Yeah.
I'll say we have a couple minutes left. Maybe you want to try the cookie cutter that we pre-printed and see how that goes before we sign off.
Yeah. I'll just say this out loud because, like I said, one more technical thing, not a question, more of an ask for the dev team to pass along. The e-step feature on the mobile app is essential for accuracy. Would love to have it on the desktop app. Okay.
I haven't tried that feature. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but we'll say it out loud. So more awareness for the dev team that Fuji Lives wants this feature, and I'm sure many other people would appreciate this feature. It just keeps freezing. Oh, yeah, hard to say. Network connections are always a tricky thing. Where's the Makerspace? Where can I try the 3D printers? We are in West Hills, California, in the Valley, so in Los Angeles. So come check us out. You can find us. Do you want to put the our address in the chat?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we're already at 6:59. I'm not sure we're gonna get that fully printed one, but I'm gonna spread my dough here and give a quick cookie cut with our buddy cookie cutter. Because they all work just the same. Let's make sure we get all these. So it's a little sticky. It's a little tricky.
Yeah, I think it'll probably work better with
real dough. Yeah, this modeling clay is a bit too tacky. So
but it is pretty cute.
Our buddy is a little elongated
than
he normally is. It's a bit more alien-esque, but with real dough. And remember, use some type of disposable, food-safe interface with your 3D prints. Don't use raw 3D prints. But you too can make your own cookie cutters.
We have a member who's been making cookie cutters and using it with modeling clay to make mini versions of food. So that's been fun.
I'll read these last few comments before we go. Fuji Lives. It helps a lot. Saved my sanity after many failed early prints. Mobile app got me there, but it's hidden and not obvious to users starting out. Easily one of the best printers I've ever used. The app slicer is amazingly accurate as well. Glad you're having a good time. Stop Block Studios. Fuji Lives. Yeah, the app has come so far. Early desktop app was painful to use, but it's straight up good now. Yeah. All right. Okay, guys. Thank you for joining us. And last but not least, use AnkerMake 2024, all caps, from now until midnight to get $50 off an order of 250 or more right now. So this is already at $350. That's 50% off. So with that extra $50 off, you're going to get the M5 for $299.99. That's a great deal, guys. Thanks for joining us, and hope to see you at our next live stream.